All right, we have gone live. Hello. Good morning. It's Friday. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Let's see if we did this. Oh, yes. There we go. I think I did it. I think I did. I think I can. Let's get some focus here. Let's get focus. Woohoo. Okay, we're talking about focus this morning. Good morning. Good morning out there in entrepreneur world, go-getter world, alive world. Good morning. Grace Simon here, New Doors Mentorship and Coaching. And it's a beautiful morning. Yes, it is. We are not in control of our lives. We think we are in control, and there is a lot that we can control, that we should control, that we're responsible for controlling. That is for sure. We live off three planes of existence: our intellectual mind, that we consciously think and drive and accept and reject ideas. We're responsible for our intellectual minds and feeding it with good food, right? Good reasoning, good perspectives, by learning and growing and developing ourselves through this intellectual ability that we have. And there's so many facets to our intellect that God has given and blessed us with so many resources. We have every resource we need to accomplish everything that we're meant to accomplish. It's all within you. It's just not yet discovered in a lot of ways. As we grow and we develop and we gain these new perspectives, we gain understanding and wisdom. And then we live from our physical plane of existence, right? We have physical bodies and we're responsible for taking care of them and, feeding our food, feeding our body with the right foods and vitamins and fuel and sleep and exercise and everything that we need to do that we know keeps our body healthy. We're responsible for that, and we are in control. We are in control of when we are in good physical health, or maybe when we're mediocre, or maybe when we're not in good health. We still have this capability of control of doing everything we can in order to improve our bodies, our physical activity. And when you go for surgery, or you yeah, I remember when my mom got her knees replaced, there were certain actions, there was activities, exercises that she needed to do, and they were very persistent, and make sure you do your stretches every single day. By you doing your stretches, so many counts, so many actions, so many exercise every day, this will help you. This will, ensure that you have a proper recovery. And it was in her control and her responsibility to make sure that she did her stretches, right? And her counts given to her by the doctors to make sure that her health and her physicalness improved over time. And so we have control over that. And then our spiritual beings that we live off of, we have control over that. In fact, we have responsibility over that, our spiritual being, feeding it with good things, connecting with God and praying and listening, going out in nature. Everything is spiritual. I'm learning that everything is spiritual. There's always a force working for you and a force working against you. And when you start to understand that we are spiritual beings, and everything is energy, there's always movement taking place in the world. And when we understand these laws of movement, these laws of energies, the laws of God power, of God goodness in us, and connecting with our spiritualness, with our spiritual being, God has given us a spirit to connect and communicate. And so, off these three areas of our life, there's an area that we can control, right? We do everything we can in order to keep it safe and healthy and growing and nourished. And it's so good, right? When we feel like we have a sense of control, that we're driving, and we have intention on what we're doing with our life, we feel encouraged, we feel confident, we feel like we're moving in a direction when we are living our life intentionally, in the understanding that it is up to us to drive our life in a certain way. And then there's things that we can't control, right? We can't control. Yesterday, you know, a niece of mine got into a really bad car accident, and we're so grateful that she's going to be okay. But she's going to have a long recovery. She's going to have a recovery, broken bones and things taken that have happened. But we're so grateful that she's going to be okay. But it's going to be a long recovery, and so there's a lot of things that will not be in her control. All of a sudden, the things that were in control have been that control has been taken away, and she's going to have to learn a whole way of living for a while, right? Moving, eating, exercising, all these things in order for her to get back to the health and the strength that her body can get to. But it can't get to where it needs to go unless she applies that a focused attention to what it is that she needs to do in her recovery. And all of our life is like this. Everything is energy. Everything is determined by our intentional living or unintentional living, our drive for what it is that we want. My niece is going to want to drive to get better, to get stronger, to be healthy, to get back to her normal life. And this is going to be a big journey, but her drive and her desire to want to be there again, right? To be healthy and whole will get her moving, will get her, charging ahead, will get her practicing and being intentional every day about her growth and our learning, our business development, our communication, our physical health and well-being, our financial stability, our financial growth is all driven in the same way. Where our thoughts go, our energy flows. When our intention is set on specific actions, specific needs of why we need to perform this, why we need to increase this, why do we need to improve this, and we put our focused attention on the importance of that's tied to our values, that's tied to our purpose, that's tied to those answers within ourselves, that's where we get the excitement and that's where we gain the momentum is through this power of focus. Focus is not an easy word for us today, friends. Did you realize that human beings now have a focused attention for no longer than 7 seconds? Because of technology and things moving at such Mach speed, and we're able to do so many things at one given time. Multitasking should be a sin. Multitasking is not good for our health. It's not good for our well-being. It's not good for our growth. And I'm speaking to myself about this, okay? Because I am a multitasker, and I have learned that I cannot multitask. I cannot multitask well. I mean, I can vacuum and hold a baby at the same time, right? But I can't focus my attention on both things at the same time. I may be holding both things, but only one thing has my attention at any given time. Either I'm looking where I'm vacuuming, right? Or I'm looking at the baby. There, two jobs are being done, but the focused attention isn't there, right? In any given moment, I could drop either one because of that intention, that focus that is not being given to. We really are only meant to focus on one task at any given time. Have you ever noticed when you're driving and you're listening to a podcast and you're really enjoying the podcast, you're focused, you're intended, you're intending to want to learn from what it is that you're listening to, and you're really engaged. But then all of a sudden you go through a crossing section, you go through an intersection, through a green light or red light or yellow light, whatever it is that you're going through. Hopefully you're not going through a red light. But you're listening to this podcast, and then you go through the intersection, and you have to go back and intentionally go back into the podcast that you were so focused into, that you were engaged in, you wanted to learn. But by passing through that intersection, you now switched your brain. You lost your focus. In a second, in a moment, you have to intentionally draw yourself back into that moment of being focused on and engaged on that podcast. And it's like that because we cannot hold our thoughts. We cannot hold our attention to two different things at any one given time. So we may think that we are multitasking. We may think that we're able to do two things at one time. But just because we're holding it, just because we're driving it, just because we're listening to it, our focus and attention isn't really there. And I fall short of this all the time where at the end of the day, my brain is literally feels like it's swelling because I have too many things going at one given time. And I was reading about Solomon this morning and how Solomon, like, he tested everything. Like, he said that he did not withdraw from anything. Like, he gave himself everything that his eyes and heart desired. He went after everything that he knew that he could do and build and buy and grow and harvested and owned. I mean, King Solomon had everything, and he was found to be the wisest person on earth. And he said, like, I fed everything. I fed into everything that I possibly could to find fulfillment. And at the end of it, he couldn't be fulfilled because of the fact that he was putting his efforts, he was putting his attention, he was putting himself to absolutely everything all over the place, that he really didn't feel like he was satisfied. He wasn't fulfilled because he didn't get that sense of, yeah, he didn't get that sense of worth, of really taking the time to really invest and focus on a certain thing, to really see the mastery and the beauty and the growth of it. When we are throwing seeds and when we're doing stuff all over the place, we miss out on a lot. We miss out on the beauty of the growth. We miss out on the time. We miss it out on the people. We miss out on the details. Me, I am not naturally a detailed person, and so when I'm running in all different directions, doing many different things, it opens to errors. And so I've had to learn to really block my time. That I used to have tabs open all over the place and I would move from those tabs. My kids would still say, I have tons of tabs open. And I do, but I'm not flipping around from tab to tab because I realized and I had acknowledged that it was such a detriment that I was not getting anything done by splitting my attention in all different areas. So John Maxwell has taught us a really great method, and I teach this in my mindset and my sales mastery courses um, that I am giving to agents that are coming onto my group. I'm so excited about this. I've put so much attention and focus in on these programs over the past couple of years building, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to deliver them, how I was going to sell them, how I was going to, what I was going to do with them. And I got into this, I'm now in this season where I'm growing a real estate group and inviting agents to experience our incredible company. And I want to give them value. I want to help them grow. I want to help them succeed and to be everything that they desire to be when they got their license and they wanted to get into real estate. And so I'm thinking about different ways and watching how other people are adding value to their agents and to their teams. And I was like, what do I have to add? And I realized I had these incredible programs that I had put so much attention to. I had put so much energy to the past couple of years. Like, that's where my attention has been, is by development and personal growth and learning mindset mastery and learning NLP sales. And I put so much attention to that in the past couple of years that I hadn't even realized how good it was and how valuable it was because I was just driving to get things done. And here, my rewards of it, after 2 years of focused intention of building these programs, building these sales programs and mindset mastery programs, that I'm able to apply it to the next season that I'm in now, and my focused attention of growing agents and growing groups, that I have the tools and I have the systems to give to them to help them succeed and grow. But it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have set specific attention and growth to that area of my life. I had to let other things go in order to let this grow so that I can allow now this season of growing a different group and a different purpose, that I'm able to use yesterday's work for tomorrow's expansion. And that's powerful. And it wouldn't have happened without focused attention. So, friends, whatever you're building, whatever you're growing, whatever you're going after, set your attention and your focus to it. And knowing that maybe you won't see the fruit and the results of it, or even the necessity, right away, but there will be a time that you will have the reward for those efforts, for that intention and that focus that you give to whatever it is that you're wanting to do. Just do it singularly. Just do it singularly. And John Maxwell has taught us to time block. So if you have a few different projects that you're doing, you can only set your attention on that project at one time. And there's only so many hours in a day, and we all have the same amount of hours. So what I have found to be really useful is by time blocking 15-minute increments for one single task. Because we could only have attention span of seconds, we're constantly having to work to keep our attention and keep ourselves focused. So that 15 minutes is, uh-oh, my AI, my camera just totally zoomed in on my face. Isn't that funny? Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry, friends. You're going to get a close up of me. I don't know how to move it back. Um, but yeah, you want to time block because your brain and your thoughts are going to get exercised a lot in that 15 minutes. But if you keep it to 15 minutes on one task and one exercise, you'll find that you will power through and you'll get so much more done and so much more momentum by time blocking. And then move to your next task after that 15 minutes. Time block it, focused in on that one task. That's the only task I'm going to do in the next 15 minutes. And just totally focused every bit of energy and attention to it, you will be amazed. You can go back to the first task if you like, but don't go back to that first task until you've finished your second task in that 15-minute increment. And what you will find is that you'll be able to really focus in on that task and that job and the responsibility, and you'll get so much done in your day. Again, I go through that in my sales course that I teach, and we do it together. So anyways, it is Friday. I want to wish you all an incredible, amazing, powerful, momentous day. And I have to say, be happy, be hungry, and be filled. And we will see you on Monday. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.